developed along the same automobile model as Los Angeles has. And what has happened? What has happened is you've got traffic, unbelievable traffic, congestion, air pollution, and even the easiest type of errand can become a big deal because of the congestion here in Los Angeles. Los Angeles, the metro area, even though it's considered spread out, You know, it's not like New York or Hong Kong or something like that. It's the densest metropolitan area over, the average density is the densest metropolitan area in the country over such a broad area. So we have density here. People think of Los Angeles as being not a dense place. You know, get on the 10 freeway at rush hour. It's dense, right? There's a lot of population here. So what has happened is in the drive to develop along the suburban model, Los Angeles has not avoided the problems associated with density. So mixed use has come about to try and help to make better that problem. How does mixed use make that better? Jerry Hand.
Cuts down on traffic.
How?
Because it combines your destinations, your living destination, your work, your leisure destinations, your shopping destinations.
Exactly, that's exactly right. The key to avoiding a lot of congestion is keeping people out of their automobiles for many things. So what mixed use tries to encourage is massing the daily conveniences together, including places of employment, retail, and office, retail, and living experience in an environment that's clean and near other transportation outlets besides automobiles. Does anyone have any questions? Is mixed use confined to the East Coast traditionally?
Traditionally?
Yeah. Let me rephrase my question. What's a great example of a mixed-use city that's not on the East Coast or in the Midwest?
Hong Kong.
In the United States.
San Francisco.
San Francisco. That's exactly correct. San Francisco is way ahead of LA. Are the people in San Francisco smarter than people in LA? I think they would say yeah. Well, what is it about San Francisco?
Income is higher.
What's that? The income is higher? Okay.
No, the geographical location of the city.
Sam, right?
Limited. Sam, right.
Exactly.
Sam Chung, actually. But.
Sam Chung. Okay. Sam Chung.
Okay.
Sam Chung, speak up a little bit and say that.
Say what?
What you just said.
When you repeat,
Just repeat. Give him a pill.
What did you just say? The reason San Francisco...
Oh, because of the geographical location where it's at, it's all condensed.
density.
Exactly. San Francisco is on a peninsula. They didn't have the luxury of expanding like we did here in Southern California. So mixed use became the way to develop, the most feasible way to develop there. So San Francisco, those of you who have been there, I'm sure most of you have, is a very much a walking city, and you have a very strong sense of place. Have you ever heard that the term people say in Los Angeles, there's no there? That means like when you get to LA, don't know how long most of you lived here. When you get to LA, it's not like, you know, if you've been in Hong Kong, if you've been in New York, you've been in Chicago, you know you're there. You know you're in the city of New York. You know you're in the city of Chicago. Here, you know, you're driving on the freeway. You're like, am I in LA or am I in Torrance? Am I in Baldwin Park or am I in LA? Am I in Monterey Park or am I in Alhambra? You know, it's just one mass of communities. And the city of Los Angeles just happens to be the largest one. And a lot of that is attributed to the way the city has developed. And a lot of the complaint about Los Angeles, I'm sure you've heard, it lacks a sense of community. Have you heard that? That's the first thing I heard here when I moved here. You know, there's not a sense of community here. People have a sense of community about where they live. How often do you hear somebody say, you know, where do you live? And unless you're 1,000 miles away from Los Angeles, you won't say you won't say, I live near Los Angeles. Really, unless you're trying to tell somebody exactly where you live. Like, I live in Pasadena. I live in Orange County. I remember before I came to LA, I kept saying, what is this Orange County? I was on a trip and I was talking to this couple, they were like, we're from Orange County. I'm like, what is that? And then when pressed, they were like, well, it's near LA. You know. So people have a sense of place about where they live. How often have you been, I don't know, if you hang out in Pasadena, you go in Pasadena, most of my friends live in Pasadena, and if the West Side comes up, they're like, oh, I hate the West Side. Or if you're on the West Side, oh, I hate Pasadena. That's a lack of sense of community. It's just that you feel the allegiance to where you live, but not the general region. And that's pretty unique in my experience to Los Angeles. And I've lived in Chicago, Philadelphia, Washington, D.C., Atlanta, and spent time in Florida and all that. I've never seen anything like that. And I think part of it, I'm not saying that the whole reason is those places have mixed use and LA doesn't, but when people live dispersed from each other, a lack of sense of community does arise. And when I say dispersed from each other, I'll give you an example. I'm one of the problems of the Los Angeles area. I live in Irvine and work in Pasadena. Can you believe that? Yeah. But, so my day consists of getting up, getting my coffee, getting in the car. I turn on that classical music because I got that hellacious commute. And I go to the office, say hi to Jerry and Mel and everybody in there, do my work. And then I go home. I'm not like, you know, hey, I think I'll go down the street to the restaurant because, you know, there's a nice jazz quartet playing. It's not like that because of the pattern of development. Now, you know, stupid me, I live in Irvine and work in Pasadena, so I'm extreme. But it's more typical here than elsewhere. You know, how many of you have lived elsewhere besides this area, LA area? Very many of you. How many of you, before you moved to LA, you know, thought driving an hour to go to a restaurant to eat was extreme? Now I don't give that a second thought. That's because of the pattern of development. I tell my mom, she lives in North Carolina, Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Driving an hour out of Chapel Hill is like a trip. You know, you're way out. She's, oh, dear David. That's my mom. Oh, are you on the phone while you're talking? I'm always on the phone in the car.
David?
Yes?
How long is your commute both ways?
In the morning, it's about an hour solid, as long as, hey, KY 1070 and 980, those are my best friends, AM radio on the, because I don't have G